she went to one of the freak-offs, but they said that it wasn't, it was a rapper who was married, and everybody, all the information that came out, it was pointing to Kanye West.
You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore.
Is it true that you were at the Halloween party that Puff's son and Ray J got into it?
I was, yes.
Katt Williams has never been one to hold back. Every time he steps into the spotlight, he brings with him a storm of truth, humor, and revelation. Over the years, Katt has spoken about Hollywood in ways very few dare to. He's long maintained that fame is never free, that every artist who shines in the spotlight has paid a price the public will never fully understand. Some lose their freedom, some lose their sanity, and some, he says, lose the people they love most. Now, Katt's latest focus is Kanye West, the man now known as Ye. According to Katt, Kanye's success did not come without sacrifice. He believes Kanye was forced to make the ultimate choice, a choice that led to the loss of his mother, Donda West, and to years of pain that continue to follow him. Katt insists that Kanye's story is not just one of fame and talent, but a chilling example of how the industry uses manipulation, tragedy, and fear to control those who rise too high. And when you look closely at everything that has happened around Kanye, from his mother's death to his alleged ties to Diddy's disturbing parties, Katt's words start to sound less like conspiracy and more like a warning. In June 2025, Kanye West appeared unexpectedly at Sean Diddy Combs' high-profile trial. Diddy, once one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry, faced charges of trafficking, racketeering, and coercion. Kanye arrived dressed in white, walking into the Manhattan courthouse with calm defiance. When reporters asked if he was there to support Diddy, he simply said, yes. That one word carried enormous weight. While nearly everyone in the industry has distanced themselves from Diddy following the shocking accusations, Kanye once again walked straight into the storm.
This is the same guy that got on, and I don't want to blow nobody else's platforms, or got on Drink Champs about a year or so ago before Diddy was arrested, talking about Diddy was a fed. You understand? F Diddy and all this other stuff like that. And then he talked all kind of crazy about Diddy. And that's how these dudes in this industry do, man. They ain't got no loyalty to themselves, bro. So by him going on that, and now they say him and Diddy made amends and stuff like that. Remember he, I think he did a t-shirt, a shirt or something to say free Puff and all this other stuff. So Kanye is on his, he's looking for the attention, and for him to be mentioned in the trial, and they didn't let it go through, because the reason they didn't let it go through is because they said it wasn't pertinent to the charges that Puff was facing. So what happened, Jane went to Vegas, and she was invited by allegedly Kanye West and his wife and them and everything like that. And they went to plays, they went to show, they went out to eat and everything. And then later on that night, they went to a hotel room, whereas there was some other couples in there too, and some other people. And there wasn't a freak off, but it was one of the guys who does the freak off with her there. And they were all sitting around watching and drinking while this guy was having with another worker or whatever like that. And while all them just watching him have and stuff. I guess it's some rich people industry that they do. But they were just sitting around watching this dude have a live porn section right there in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So she started talking about that incident in court, and that's how Kanye West's name came up, and which they didn't say his name, but they said his name because it was an objection done. You know how they do, objection, overrule, all this other stuff like that. So they said it was a rapper who married. They gave a description of it, and it pointed straight to Kanye. And then it so happened the next day he goes up in the courtroom with Diddy and them sons. That's just crazy, bro.
To some, it looked like loyalty. To others, it looked like a man still bound to the same circle of power that Katt Williams has been warning about for years. This wasn't just about friendship, it was about what Katt calls the system. The system that promises fame but demands silence. And when you remember that Kanye himself once accused that very system of controlling artists through manipulation and fear, his sudden appearance at Diddy's trial becomes even more haunting. In November 2007, the world lost Donda West, Kanye's beloved mother. She passed away following complications from cosmetic surgery, a tragedy that shattered Kanye completely. He stopped touring, withdrew from the public eye, and spoke openly about the pain he carried. "If I had never moved to Los Angeles," he once told audiences, "she'd still be alive." To Katt Williams, that was more than grief. It was guilt mixed with realization. Katt has long claimed that in Hollywood, when you rise too high, something is taken from you. He's described it as a ritual of loss. According to him, some artists are tested through humiliation, while others are tested through tragedy.
And see, that's when I knew that Kanye's mom, Kanye would have never wanted Donda dead. Not even by natural causes. I was happy when he finally accepted it. Because they sacrifice your loved ones whether you agree or not. See, sometimes you agree and they put you in position, you know? But sometimes you disagree. And they take them anyway to show you what the harm is. You know, it's Giovanni. His death is why I do what I do.
Katt Williams believes that Kanye's sudden rise to superstardom after Donda's passing was no coincidence. In his words, "They don't let you rise without a payment." After that fateful year, Kanye's fame skyrocketed to global heights. He became a cultural icon, more than a musician, a movement. But behind all the success stood a man who seemed deeply haunted. In later interviews, Kanye himself suggested that his mother's death was somehow tied to his fame. He spoke openly about feeling as though her passing was a sacrifice made in exchange for his success. He even drew parallels between his experience and that of other celebrities who lost loved ones under tragic or mysterious circumstances. To Katt, this wasn't just speculation, it was a confession. Years before Kanye became a billionaire, he was in a high-profile relationship with model Amber Rose. Their 2-year romance captivated headlines, but what came afterward revealed a darker side. Amber later confessed that Kanye bullied her for years following their breakup, calling her names and attempting to tarnish her reputation. Recently, Amber shared something that made the public rethink everything. She admitted that she had attended many of Diddy's infamous private parties, events that have since become central to multiple lawsuits and disturbing testimonies. Amber described those gatherings as shocking, filled with famous faces engaging in troubling behavior. It's important to remember that Amber first met Kanye through the music industry, the same world that Diddy once dominated. Those parties, now under intense legal scrutiny, appear to connect some of the industry's most powerful names. And Kanye's continued presence around that very circle makes Katt's warnings harder and harder to dismiss.
You've A&R'd for Ye.
Absolutely.
You've A&R'd for
I put
Wiz.
Nicki on Monster.
You could just stop there. You can stop there, right?
I put Nicki on Monster. He didn't know who Nicki was back then. I had Nicki pull up to the studio and I put her on Monster.
Because you guys were, I think me, you, and you guys were super close at that particular time, right?
Right, but she was still coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
And I saw her in the studio and I said, oh my God, this bitch is talented as hell. And then I went back to Kanye and I was like, you need to get this girl Nicki on Monster. And he was like, who, what? No, I'm not, no, mm-mm. And I said, just let her pull up What's it gonna hurt?
She did a thing.
So he didn't listen to anything that she had done. She just pulled up and like with that verse.
Well, she pulled up and we all had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She heard the song, and then she came back the next day with the verse.
And he almost wanted to take the verse off.
Because it was too good.
It was too good.
She slid on that bitch.
Yeah, he told me that the same day. He's
you-
like, how the did you bring in a bitch that killed me on my own song?
In October 2024, Kanye West's former assistant, Lauren Peixoto, filed a shocking lawsuit accusing him of assault during a studio session he co-hosted with Diddy. According to court documents, Peixoto claimed that Kanye gave her a drink that caused her to lose consciousness and that the atmosphere in the studio felt more like one of Diddy's notorious freak-off parties than a professional music session. Peixoto's case directly connected Kanye to Diddy's secretive and controversial world. Her complaint alleged that Kanye used his status to intimidate and manipulate, describing the environment around those sessions as toxic and deeply unsettling. Kanye's legal team swiftly denied all allegations, calling them false, malicious, and motivated by greed. But this was not the only lawsuit Kanye faced that year. Another former employee had already accused him of harassment and inappropriate behavior, painting a troubling picture of chaos and controversy surrounding him. To Katt Williams, these legal battles aren't random. They're part of a much larger pattern. He believes that when a celebrity begins to resist or expose the system, that very same machine turns against them. They are accused, discredited, and isolated. And according to Katt, that's exactly what's happening to Kanye now.
And I'm not saying no freak-off parties, just the regular parties. He wanted to be known. So, he was doing music for everybody, and he was doing music for Diddy. So I could see him being a supporter, but then when they all got big and started getting a lot of money and everything like that, they started going at each other crazy. You understand? And he felt like that because I believe Puff was the one probably introduced him to Kim Kardashian, if I'm not mistaken. I think Puff had something to do with him getting with Kim Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Because she used to mess with a couple of dudes, a dude from BMF first, and she was around. So I would presume that Kim and Kanye West was all right back in the day. And then when they started getting money and they started going at each other and stuff like that, and then Kanye fell out with the Kardashians, and none of the people that he thought was supposed to be cool with him helped him. So he just started going at everybody. So it was strange after that whole drink trap. And then, he started, when Diddy got arrested, he did say some things because the government, he may look at the fact the government may come after him. So he may become an ally of Diddy's, but everybody that's going to be around him going to go down, man. This crazy, man. You got to realize that he has no way out of this, bro. He has no way out of this. It either had to be a mistrial but if it's a mistrial, they still go back to the drawing board. You understand? That don't mean he gets out of jail. They just do another trial date. So I believe, and my prediction on this, that was just all show for Kanye to come up in there. You understand? The jurors, if you know anything about the jury and having Kanye to support you, I don't even think that's a good thing. But maybe they think it is. It's gonna, throw something, some kind of public opinion Diddy's way. It's stupid. That would be one of the last persons I would have coming up there to support me, knowing his relationship with the Jewish population. The stuff that he said about the Jewish population. Why would you have that man come up in the court and say anything in your behalf?
Both Kanye West and Katt Williams have spoken about a mysterious force that, they claim, controls the lives of celebrities. Kanye once released screenshots of text messages from his personal trainer, messages that appeared to threaten him with institutionalization. The revelation shocked fans, especially when they discovered that the trainer had a background in psychological research. It raised unsettling questions about how much influence certain handlers might have over stars behind the scenes. Katt Williams has echoed these concerns in his own way. He's described how some entertainers are surrounded by people whose true purpose isn't protection, but control. These handlers keep them obedient, Katt once said. They prevent them from speaking the truth, and if they disobey, they are destroyed in public. Through that lens, Kanye's public outbursts, his controversial interviews, and even his intense religious transformation take on a different meaning. Perhaps they weren't the actions of a man spiraling out of control, but of someone desperately trying to reclaim it. During Diddy's ongoing trial, one of the most disturbing testimonies came from a woman identified only as Jane. She claimed she was coerced into intimate acts while in a relationship with Diddy and described traveling to Las Vegas with a famous rapper, someone she referred to as an icon in the music industry.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car. So y'all shut the up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the up about Michael.
Right.
Although the court has not publicly identified this rapper, many observers have pointed out how closely the details align with Kanye West. The alleged trip included lavish dinners, strip clubs, and private hotel gatherings where boundaries reportedly blurred. If those accounts are accurate, it suggests Kanye was far more entangled in Diddy's secretive world than most people ever realized. Katt Williams has long claimed that Diddy's infamous parties were never just about entertainment. He described them as initiations, exclusive gatherings where rising stars were tested, recorded, and ultimately controlled. According to Katt, once you step into that world, you are no longer truly free.
Breaking news, Sean Diddy Combs was just sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. Yeah, that's right. After all of that, all that they gave him was 50 months with credit for time served, which I believe is like 13 months off of his sentence. It's another day in America and another message to victims that what they went through, what they suffered, doesn't matter, and that justice will never be fully served in this country. Now, don't get me wrong. If it was you or me who got convicted of those charges and got sentenced, we definitely would have gotten more than 50 months. But Diddy is rich. Diddy is powerful. Diddy has sway with powerful elite people. And because of that, that judge just sent a message to everyone that his life is more important than the life of his victims. Somebody needs to send out a forensic accountant to check all of that judge's financials and see if he's seen any large sums of money in his bank accounts, any offshore accounts, any crypto wallets. I mean, Diddy's not coming home today, but in my opinion, 50 months is an absolute joke. What do y'all think?
And Kanye's presence at those events, combined with the lawsuits and the suspicious circumstances surrounding his mother's death, paints a chilling picture of a man trapped within the very system he once tried to expose. Katt Williams believes that Hollywood uses tragedy as a weapon of control. He has often said that no one rises to the top without paying a price, and once they do, they must constantly prove their loyalty. Those who refuse are shamed, sabotaged, or silenced. Katt has also pointed out that whenever a celebrity dares to tell the truth, they are quickly branded as unstable. He himself has endured years of ridicule, legal troubles, and public attacks. Yet many of his past warnings about Diddy, about secret parties, and about artists being sacrificed in the name of success have begun resurfacing in the headlines, forcing people to wonder if Katt was telling the truth all along.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying...
Katt Williams says Kanye's story isn't about madness. It's about awareness. He believes Kanye is fighting to break a contract that was never written on paper, but carved in pain. The public remains deeply divided. Some see Kanye's claims about sacrifice and control as the result of stress or mental illness. Others view him as a whistleblower, a man brave enough to tell the truth in a world where honesty is punished. For every critic who says Kanye lost his mind, there's a believer who insists he finally found his voice. Katt stands firmly with the latter. He believes Kanye knows too much, and that the same people who once lifted him up are now trying to silence him. And with Diddy's empire crumbling under the weight of scandal, Katt argues that the entire system may finally be showing its cracks. Step back, and the pattern becomes hard to ignore. Kanye's mother dies in 2007. His fame skyrockets immediately afterward. He becomes entangled in Diddy's secretive world of private parties and hidden networks. Years later, the lawsuits begin to surface. All the while, Katt Williams continues to warn that the entertainment industry feeds on silence and sacrifice. Each piece of this story suggests something larger than individual choices. It points to a machine built on manipulation, greed, and the illusion of power.
We got to get your take on, Kanye West. He just threw out his most disturbing tweet yet, based on a song he put out, saying that he was providing fellatio to his cousin up until the age of 14. Do you feel like he's just trolling at this point, or he's really letting out some?
I think he's just telling it all. The problem is he's telling it too late. If he had been more honest about his proclivities and the thing that he got, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals involved with Kanye. There's a lot of interesting special doctors with special medicines. If he had told everybody a little sooner, now they're trying to get him fixed and all set up for a conservatorship. See, that's the problem when it comes to serving God. You can't do it halfway. You got to go all in. You can't negotiate with the devil, not even for a second. Yeah, you're going to have this aha moment. It hasn't gotten here yet, but it's coming. It's just sad watching how people really have a hard time just accepting the truth. These are all devil-loving sodomites who are here to make sure that our people don't break free from the system.
When Kanye West showed up at Diddy's trial, he might have been signaling more than simple support. It may have been a message, a reminder that no matter how far you run, the shadow of the system follows you everywhere. Katt Williams has been saying it for years. Fame in Hollywood isn't just about talent. It's about control. It's about who owns you, who watches you, and what you're willing to lose to stay at the top. For Kanye West, that cost has been devastating. He lost his mother, his reputation, and perhaps his peace of mind. Yet he continues to speak, to question, and to challenge everything that once made him rich and powerful. Maybe that's what Katt meant when he said Kanye was forced. Because in that world, silence isn't an option, and neither is freedom. So the question remains, did Kanye West truly rise because of his genius, or because he paid a price no artist should ever have to pay? And if that's true, how many more stars are still paying it right now? If you followed this far, tell us what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new video. Until next time, stay aware, stay questioning, and as always, fam, keep it real.